In this masterclass, I'm going to walk you through the entire weight loss protocol that I give patients from start to finish. By the end, you'll know exactly how to lose weight at home without pills or starvation. Now, before we begin, I really encourage you to check out the free handout below and use it to follow along. It has some exciting exercises throughout and also provides really good summary of everything that we discuss. There is one other special reason that we put this class together. We are so close to qualifying for the YouTube Health Partnership Program. This is a special status that prioritizes verified medical information over random influencers selling you supplements that you don't need. By watching this course from start to finish, you are directly helping us get that badge so we can get real, safe medical advice to the people who need it most. So with all that in mind, check out the course, open up the PDF below, and let's get started. Welcome to Chapter 1, How to Boost Metabolism. This section is really what I would call the bread and butter of metabolic health. If you were to do nothing else in this entire 2-hour class and only did what the next 17 minutes are going to address, I promise you, you're going to see significant changes. This may sound like hunky-dory advice, but I'm not trying to yank your chain here. I have seen it myself firsthand with patients. These small little changes really do get to the first principles of metabolic health. And so I encourage you to really pay attention and watch this one through. The first thing that we're going to address is the concept of no sugar in your coffee. I know it sounds like this is what I'm saying 100 times a day, repeating myself constantly, but it's because it's really important. And even if you don't drink coffee, this concept actually applies to all liquid sugar in general. So teas, juices, Coca-Colas, all of that is really the stuff that we're talking about in this video. Okay, let's get to it. Wait till the end because I'm going to go over some of the questions that you guys have asked. And throughout, I'm going to pause and punch in on those high yield points. This is how to make a killer cup of coffee to beat diabetes. Watch closely because many of my patients reverse their insulin resistance from a single cup of joe. And while you may be exercising and eating well, all these efforts could be ruined by the coffee that you drink. But what makes a killer cup of coffee? What does this superstar know that you don't? To find out, I spent the last 10 years poring over charts, listening to patients, and analyzing the most successful stories of people who beat type 2 diabetes. 50,000 patients later, I discovered that the healthiest cups of coffee follow a 4-stage process. This video will walk you through them all. The first step is the one that is by far the most important, and yet the most overlooked. Most of us agonize over calories, eat our veggies, and read labels to perfection. Then we slap some sugar in our coffee and head off to work. This is a lopsided way to think about sugar. You're thinking like a 90s diet ad, not like your liver. 90s diet advice said, a calorie is a calorie. But your liver doesn't see a calorie for a calorie. What your liver sees is a drink with sugar in it. And if you're drinking this every morning, no matter how small the teaspoon is, it floods your liver into overdrive and spikes your blood glucose. Adding a teaspoon of sugar to your coffee every morning is 120 grams of sugar a month, which is 7.2 cups in a year.
And then you start teaching your body begins to burn fat instead of sugar.
So this is really the key part of this video, and it's the part that I try to emphasize the most. 1 teaspoon of sugar is equivalent to 7 cups of sugar in a year. So think about what that means. That means that by just cutting out that one small thing, you're actually making huge strides in the end for your body and your overall metabolic health. The other thing to think about is whether or not you're actually going to miss that teaspoon of sugar in your coffee every morning. Think about it. There are very few times when I can honestly say that I thought, wow, I really enjoyed that sugary drink. When I was, I think, 12, my parents decided to take us to Disney World in August. You can imagine how difficult of an experience that was. It was boiling hot, sweltering. I was walking around all day pretty much like a raisin because I had lost so much water. And I remember around 5 o'clock when dinner came, I had a Coca-Cola from the glass bottle. I'm telling you, I've never had such a good taste of Coca-Cola in my life. And I would honestly say that water would not have quenched my thirst in that moment. I needed the caffeine. I needed the sugar to reverse my raisiny state. But these are sort of few and far between. This isn't to say that if you live in Florida, you can have a Coca-Cola every day in August. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But I am saying there is going to be times where, yeah, the sugar drink makes sense. The other thing could be skiing after a long day. You're having 8 hours on the ski slope. Nothing tastes as great as a good old hot chocolate. But with the exception of these little instances, sugary drinks should just absolutely not be in your diet. And the way to kind of summarize that is don't make sugary drinks a staple. They should be an exception, not a rule. And that's the thing that I try to push the most. I think that sometimes we think like, oh, it's just 1 teaspoon of sugar. I can have that every day. But actually, you should be thinking the opposite. Think of your sugary drink as a cookie. And you know you're not going to be having a cookie every single morning, and you have to think of your sugary drink the same way. If you're going to drink it, you're only going to drink it in certain situations, make it worth it, and know the reason why behind. Okay? So that's the important point from there that I want you to really, really keep in mind. This isn't woo-woo celebrity advice. Halle Berry reversed her type 2 diabetes by cutting sugar in her coffee. Recently, experts have confirmed the benefits of sugarless coffee on Good Morning America.
This could be great news for coffee lovers. This book saying that doing this, just drinking a cup of coffee, could be the best thing you do all day. Adding it won't just make you more alert, it could also wake up your diet too, burning fat, helping you stay satisfied, even boosting workouts. But is this the right diet for everyone?
You can't boost your metabolism and burn fat if you're putting sugar in your cup in the first place. Which is why step 1 of making a killer cup of coffee is to stop putting sugar in your cup of joe. After you're 90% sold on no longer putting sugar in your coffee, you're ready to move on to the most crucial part of your entire journey, the liquid sugar wean. This is the part where most people quit. But if you can improve your sugar levels first thing in the morning, you will by default begin to improve your body's response to insulin. To do this, my most successful patients have applied a 2-step formula to the start of their day. First, they wean sugar slowly, and second, they add cinnamon. Let's take a look at an example. Check out this timeline I created for a patient. Every week, we decrease the amount of sugar by half a teaspoon. We also added cinnamon with a little bit of cream.
It's a lifestyle. It's a choice you make. I think being diagnosed with diabetes when I was 19 years old has kept me away from, I think, the #1 aging substance, which is sugar.
Did you catch it? Cutting sugar from your coffee is all about cutting the #1 aging substance, which is sugar, especially in the form of liquid. Cutting sugar from your coffee doesn't have to match this exact 1-month timeline, but it should be slow enough that your brain embraces this as completely necessary. Speaking of completely necessary, now would be a great time to click like and subscribe if you find this helpful. Once you have sugar completely cut out of your coffee, you can move on to the rest of the drink. And this is where it gets interesting. The healthiest people use coffee in 2 powerful ways. 1, to boost metabolism, and 2, as an antioxidant. Let's take a look at these approaches in action. By drinking coffee first thing in the morning, healthy coffee drinkers open a loop. The rush of adrenaline allows them to burn more calories throughout the day and improve the use of fatty acids while walking or at rest. Our metabolism is wired for adrenaline. When you give it adrenaline in the morning, your metabolism turns on. This doesn't require an intense workout. It can be after a simple activity like walking from the furthest parking spot at work, running up 1 flight of stairs, or heading for the train. Okay, at this point, you've stopped flooding your liver with sugar, successfully completed the slow sugar wean, and turned your metabolism on by drinking coffee first thing in the morning. You're off to a phenomenal start. But the healthiest coffee drinkers don't just meet the expectations of their metabolism, they exceed those expectations. And to do that, they leverage something called the antioxidant effect, which recognizes black coffee as an antioxidant. And research shows that drinking 1 black cup of coffee per day was tied to a 15% lower risk of death from chronic liver disease. So there's a bit of mixed data on this, but the main takeaway is if you like black coffee, perfect. It's the best way to take it. If you find it absolutely too harsh, then have a little bit of milk in it. And by a little, I mean a sliver, a drop, a few little raindrops across your coffee will be okay. But don't do anything like putting half a cup of milk in your coffee. That's, essentially that's no longer a cup of coffee. It's milk with a little bit of coffee in it. And I actually do count milk as liquid sugar at all. They've actually done a lot of studies on this, looking at people's blood sugar and insulin response after drinking milk, and it goes up quite a bit. They looked at patients specifically with diabetes. So we want to avoid milk altogether, including skim milk. When I say avoid, I mean avoid drinking it as a glass of milk. Again, if you want to have a couple of dribbles in your coffee, that is okay. But overall, the main thing is that you're going to want to drink substances in their almost purest forms. So tea with no sugar, coffee with no sugar, water with no sugar, although hopefully you're already not putting sugar in your water, because that would be kind of weird. And really, this is going to be the bread and butter. If you are drinking any form of liquid in the form of sugar or sugar in the form of liquid, this is going to be the thing. Honestly, before you address anything, it's going to be address that. Even if it takes you a couple of weeks to wean off of it, this is the best thing that you can do for your health. You absolutely cannot reverse your metabolic syndrome or cannot improve your metabolic health if you are drinking liquid sugar. And I know in medicine, we're not supposed to be so sort of absolute and say things are black and white, because every person is different. But this is going to be an instance where I'm fairly confident to say, don't drink liquid sugar. It's absolutely not healthy for you. Okay? You can keep your morning coffee with a splash of cream and a little bit of cinnamon, but I recommend you add a few sips of black coffee sometime around 11 a.m. See if you can work your way up to half a cup. When it comes to the final construction of your killer cup, how do you know if your coffee is actually an Oreo cookie in disguise? Look at your coffee again, and again, and again. Look at it in a noisy coffee shop. Look at it at work. Get your friend to try it. If you or your friend think your coffee is too creamy or sweet, you can expect that your liver will as well. Go back to your coffee and cut out all sugar sources. The Milo, the maple syrup, the 2 pumps of vanilla. All of it has got to go. You can even download this visual as a reference and put it on your fridge. I'll put a link down below so you can download it for free. Take your time to get these right and you will see results. Reversing type 2 diabetes is hard. There are going to be days you give it everything you've got, but still see no change. And there's gonna be days you binge watch on Netflix and somehow drop 5 pounds. It's enough to drive you crazy. But if you're crazy enough to stick with it, you'll win in the end. You don't have to wait for some future arbitrary number on a scale to be a success story. You're already a success story right now. The stable blood sugar, it'll come. It's only a matter of time. A special thanks to my patients. Through each of your stories, I have learned how to inspire others to reverse their type 2 diabetes. Everything that I do and all that I teach is because of you. Thank you for that gift.
One viewer asks, I'm not a fan of coffee. Is there another comparable liquid antioxidant?
Yeah. So a great thing to do would be something like tea. Is actually really, really good. I think I had actually responded in that one as well. Maybe matcha. Matcha you just have to be careful with, because most of the matcha that you get at least the ones that I've seen from those boutique shops, do actually put quite a bit of milk in it. So if you are using matcha, then just try to make it more of a water-based one, because that's going to be the healthy alternative. So tea is an excellent source. Hot water with lemon is actually another really good one. You can put some ginger in it as well. I'm actually right now, I know this looks like juice. It's not juice. This is actually just a tea. This is actually water with a tea bag. And I put it in the fridge, and we actually just drink this as iced tea. And there's a little bit of lemon juice in it. So it's a really, really healthy alternative. I myself have started not enjoying coffee as well over the last year or so, and have switched to that completely. So yeah, there's lots of alternatives. You don't have to use just water. You can use things like tea.
Here's another question. Thanks for the video. Nice one. What about sweeteners?
Sweeteners. Okay, so I'll preface this by saying that I used to, once upon a time, when I was a medical student, put 4 sweeteners in my coffee every single morning. I know, it's very gross. So this is a bit of a near and dear topic to my heart. I will say, if you're not drinking sweetener currently and you're only using sugar, don't use sweetener as a way to transition off. Just transition off the sugar completely. The reason is because sweeteners are exceptionally addictive. It took me over 2 years to be able to cut them out of my diet. And the reason that I sort of figured out that slowly weaning sugar is actually a lot better than stopping it altogether is because of the fact that I had to wean myself off sweetener. So the thing about sweetener is they don't spike your blood sugar the same way that real sugar does. But they can still bump up your insulin levels. So over time, they can produce insulin insensitivity. It may not give you sort of full diabetes, but it can still definitely provoke a pre-diabetic state. So best not to use at all. The other thing about sweetener, though, is that usually if you're drinking it in the morning time, by around 2 p.m., it causes you to actually crave more sugar later on, and actually causes you to actually just crave more food in general. There's a lot of reasons why. I kind of think of it this way. You give your body what it thinks is sugar. It gets all excited, and 2 hours later, it finds out that it's been robbed. Where's the sugar supply? And so it basically sends out all its army men. It's insulin, it's cortisol, adrenaline, and that's trying to get to stimulate you to eat something. And so the best thing overall is really to A, don't start using it if you are using it, and B, if you are using it, then wean yourself off. The same sort of things that we addressed in that video, cutting about half of it every few days is going to be the best way. I had tried so many other ways to do this, and it simply didn't work. It never stuck. So every 5-day kind of protocol is actually something that I took off of when I was in addiction medicine. We did a rotation in addiction medicine, and there's like a specific protocol on actually how to wean people off several types of medications. Essentially, this is what I use, but not even just in addiction. Even if we're giving people like a beta blocker, for instance, right? We never want to just stop a beta blocker right away. We actually slowly wean down. So that's kind of the same thing that I implemented for this, and it really does work. The key is you want to sort of trick your body into not realizing that you're taking yourself off of the sugar, because the moment it starts to realize that you're doing that, it's going to actually send out hormones to prevent you from doing that, to tell you like, hey, I need my sugar. We're doing this every morning, remember? Because your body is a creature of habit. So doing it really slowly, your body completely doesn't recognize that it's happening. And that's really the goal, right? You want to keep your body in a low insulin, low cortisol state. And when I say low insulin, I don't mean we actually want to give you low insulin levels. I just mean that we don't want to be giving you high insulin. We don't want to be stimulating anything that's going to be stimulating the pancreas to be releasing a lot of insulin. So slow and steady wins the race, just like Franklin said. It really is good advice. And so overall, no, absolutely do not start sweeteners if you aren't drinking them. Perfect. If you are, then really focus on trying to wean those off. So the first part of how to boost your metabolism naturally talked about cutting liquid sugar. Now we're going to jump into the second part of how to boost your metabolism naturally, and that is all about addressing timing. Think of this next section as a modified intermittent fasting approach. We're going to start off with the first part that talks about nothing to eat past 7 p.m. We then jump into the second part to address things like snacking, and then finish it off with the topic on carbs and the timing of when to eat those. I really encourage everyone to follow along in the handout booklet that I've given, because it gives a lot of more detailed information about sort of the timing schedules, and talks even more about sort of the physiology. It also includes a lot of the studies that we address. So make sure you follow along with that, and I will see you there. Late night eating could be the difference between reversing insulin resistance and unknowingly gaining weight. Welcome to My Kind of Doctor. I'm Zoe Reed, and in this video, I'm breaking down the 3 key steps you need to apply to your evening meals so you can take control of your blood sugar and start seeing results. Step 1, killer timing. If you're here, you already know keeping blood sugar stable is important. But where most people go wrong is meal timing. You see, diabetes is a game of insulin and sugar. Stable blood sugars is determined in part by the effectiveness of insulin, which drives sugar into your cells, and in part by the timing of your meals, which drives insulin resistance. And that's why timing matters. Sure, 90s diet advice claimed a calorie is a calorie.
Personal Choice program lets you eat delicious food with every meal, even favorite foods like chocolate cake and pizza, so you'll never feel deprived.
But research tells a very different story. A 2022 study in Science found that eating late at night spikes blood sugar, disrupts sleep, and leads to insulin resistance and weight gain. Simply stopping food intake by 7 p.m. can stabilize your blood sugar, improve sleep, and promote weight loss. Some researchers argue it doesn't matter when you eat as long as it's healthy. But after working with thousands of patients and helping them reverse their type 2 diabetes, I strongly disagree. A 7 p.m. cutoff supports your circadian rhythm and plays a critical role in reversing insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Step 2, know your meds. If you're on insulin or a diabetes medication called sulfonylureas, a 7 p.m. cutoff time isn't going to work. You can and should have a cutoff time, but you must talk to your doctor about adjusting your dose first. Otherwise, you risk low blood sugar. And if you're wondering, can I reverse type 2 diabetes if I'm on insulin? Absolutely. I do it with my patients all the time, but it takes careful monitoring. Step 3, don't cannonball in. Even if you're not on insulin or a sulfonylurea, don't go home tonight and suddenly decide, I'm done eating after 7 p.m. forever. Your cortisol will spike, and by 9 p.m., you'll be face first in 3 slices of cake. Instead, ease into it. Remember the liquid sugar wean from How to Make a Killer Coffee to Beat Insulin Resistance? This follows the same approach. If you normally eat until 9:30 p.m., don't jump straight to 7 p.m. Instead, wean back gradually, 30 minutes every 3 days until you reach 7 p.m. Here's an example. Day 1 to 3, no food past 9 p.m. Days 4 to 6, no food past 8:30 p.m. Days 7 to 9, no food past 8 p.m. Days 10 to 12, no food past 7:30 p.m. Day 13, no food past 7 p.m. Also, don't forget to talk to your doctor about it. I have no way of knowing what medication you are on, so a one-size approach cannot fit all for everyone.
My God, that's monstrous. I've never heard of anything so negligent. I'll have no part of it.
Can you recommend a doctor who will?
Yes.
We're constantly bombarded with information, confusing, overwhelming, and sometimes just plain weird. It's enough to drive you mad. But more often than not, the longest path is the shortest way home. Go slow, talk to your doctor, stick with it, because small steps are enough. No more diving headfirst into fad diets. You're on the right path. Trust yourself, listen to your body, and eventually, you'll find your way home. It's only a matter of time. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Oh, and just in case anyone's wondering, this nightgown that I'm wearing was supposed to be part of a wardrobe as a joke, but it just dawned on us that I've been sitting down the entire time, so it probably hasn't really come across as such. So I wanted to let you all know that no, I don't wear nightgowns at work. My patients, please verify this for everyone. Comment down below. Thanks again. See you next time. Every year, 1.2 million Americans are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Globally, the number of people living with diabetes has quadrupled in the past 2 decades, with 830 million people diagnosed as of 2022. The vast majority have type 2 diabetes, a condition that is both preventable and reversible, driven largely by diet. So I did some digging, and after analyzing thousands of people who successfully reversed their diabetes, I found a pattern. Whether they realized it or not, each of these success stories followed a new system for reversing their diabetes, a 4-step formula that was hiding in plain sight. So far, we've covered 2 key steps. 1, cutting out liquid sugar, and 2, stopping late night eating after 7 p.m. Today, we're tackling number 3, eating 3 solid meals a day with no snacks in between. To make this simple, I'm going to break it down in 2 easy steps. First, big food wants you to eat more. Why? Because they don't make money if you eat less. Sadly, so many so-called health companies pushing the benefits of grazing, they're owned by snack food giants.
Let yourself feel how you wanna feel. 1-800-94-JENNY.
Weight Watchers, owned by Raymond DeBane and the Woodhock family, who also built a sugar empire in Europe. Slim Fast, bought by Unilever, the same company that owns Ben & Jerry's. Jenny Craig, bought by Nestle, yes, the people selling chocolate and ice cream.
Right here by your side, and we're for real. 1-800-94-JENNY.
This is like a drug dealer opening a rehab clinic in the same neighborhood they peddle their drugs in. Big Food market diet food as something to help you lose weight, all under the magic phrase, as part of a calorie-controlled diet. But we already know 90s diet ads are not only weird, but just plain wrong. A calorie isn't just a calorie. What you eat matters. When you eat matters. That's why it's crucial to stop falling for diet companies repackaging the same bad advice and stop wasting money on expensive low-calorie meals designed to keep you hooked on snacking. Number 2, don't graze. I tell my patients, if you're gonna eat, eat. Don't graze. Instead, switch to a structured 3-meal-a-day plan with no snacks in between. It makes eating predictable, it gives your body time to process food properly, it rebuilds insulin sensitivity. To understand why, let's talk about Buster. He reversed his type 2 diabetes. He's off his meds. His blood sugars are completely normal. But just a year ago, that wasn't the case. Buster was putting in the work, eating healthy, and working out 3 to 5 times a week. Yet his A1C stayed high. We'll break down the medical jargon in another video. For now, back to Buster. When we zoomed out and looked at how often he was eating, it all made sense. You see, every time you eat, insulin is released to bring blood sugar down. Eating 6 times a day, even with healthy snacks like almonds and kale, means insulin is constantly floating around in your bloodstream. So Buster made one simple change. Instead of grazing on 6 small meals, he switched to 3 solid meals a day, and what my patients love to call 3-MAD. His blood sugars dropped, his insulin levels stabilized, and his body finally had time to become insulin sensitive again. So, was Buster's grandma right? Does snacking make you fat? Well, kind of, because even healthy snacking fuels insulin resistance, which can make you fat, but more importantly, it sets the stage for type 2 diabetes. If you've missed the first 2 videos, I'll drop the links down below so you can catch up. And if you're ready to taking the next steps to reversing your type 2 diabetes, hit like and subscribe and join the group. Got questions, comments, or video ideas? Drop them below. I'll do my best to respond. Stick with it. You'll see results. It's only a matter of time.
Let yourself feel how you wanna feel. 1-800-94-JENNY. Right here by your side, and we're for real. 1-800-94-JENNY.
Call 1-800-94-JENNY today and lose 20 pounds for $20. Jenny Craig, you won't just lose, you'll win.
You won't just lose, you'll win. 1-800-94-JENNY. 1-800-94-JENNY.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next video. Remember the 90s when Subway had us convinced that foot-long subs were the secret to weight loss? Spoiler, that didn't work. Neither did an endless gorge of cabbage soup or chewing gum for dinner. You've probably tried every diet out there. Vegan, keto, Weight Watchers, low fat, no carb, you name it. And sure, plenty of diets work at first, but eventually they all fail. Here's what research says. At 6 months, most diets help you lose about 10 pounds. By 12 months, the weight and your cholesterol and blood pressure bounce right back.
I'll be back.
Why? Because the issue isn't the diet. It's how extreme most plans are. All in or all out thinking backfires. Strict diets tank your metabolism and set you up to fail. Why does restriction fail? It's exceptionally hard to stick to a no-carb diet for the rest of your life. Do you really feel you'll be able to eat no carbs for the rest of your life? As long as you live? You can hold your breath underwater, but eventually you come up for air. The same is true for dieting. You swing from 0 carbs straight into a carb binge. That's not discipline, it's biology, and it wrecks your insulin and metabolism. Here's the reality. There is no one-size-fits-all plan. Your lifestyle, your job, your health, all of it matters. What works for Kim, a shift-working mom, won't work for Tina battling breast cancer or Patrick downing double coffees on his morning walk. Nutrition must be individualized, period. So here's a rule that does work for most people. Avoid carbs after 2 p.m. Why? Because your body's insulin sensitivity drops as the day goes on. That means carbs late in the day get stored as fat faster. Instead, aim to cut carbs for one meal, that being dinner. Skip the pasta, bread, rice, and potatoes. Load up on protein, healthy fats, and fiber. Think steak and salad, chicken and avocado, eggs and veggies. Pro tip, make that low-carb meal bigger. You'll stay fuller longer and avoid the late-night snack trap, which we talked about the problems with in this video. Stop obsessing over which diet is the best. Instead, start focusing on timing your carbs and cutting them out after 2 p.m. This is one of the simplest ways to change your body without having to blow up your life. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Reversing type 2 diabetes all comes down to basic first principles. Step 1, drink coffee and tea with no sugar. Step 2, stop eating past 7 p.m. Step 3, stick to 3 meals a day, no snacks in between. And step 4, don't eat carbs after 2 p.m. If you've missed the first 3 videos, I'll drop the links below so you can catch up. And if you like this video, hit like and subscribe. Now tell me, what's the worst diet you've ever tried? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, stay consistent, results will come. It's only a matter of time. Quitting sugar for 2 weeks can completely transform your body. I'm Zoe Reed, and this is medicine made simple. Number 1, cravings gone. One of the core principles I teach is quitting liquid sugar. If you watched the first video, you'll remember we talked about this being the most crucial step. Have you tried it yet? What was the hardest part for you? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear it. Liquid sugar spikes your blood sugar fast. That spike gives you a quick hit of dopamine and adrenaline, and that hit becomes addictive. Your body starts chasing that sugar high. But after just 2 weeks without sugar, especially liquid sugar, your cravings fade. Your body stops searching for sugar. Your brain stops begging for it. And for most people, that's the first freedom they feel. Number 2, less hungry. Sugar doesn't just spike your cravings, it spikes your insulin, your fat storage hormone. And when insulin is high, your hunger signals are all over the place. You end up eating more often.
That man ate all our shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters.
'Tis no man, 'tis a remorseless eating machine.
But 2 weeks on the no sugar protocol, your insulin starts to settle. Hunger fades. You're finally back in control. Number 3, weight loss. Here's what happens. High insulin makes you retain water. Once insulin drops, you start to shed that water weight. Then you start burning fat for fuel. So no, it's not just water weight you're losing. It's step 1 of your metabolic reboot. Number 4, you sleep better. Sugar highs and crashes keep your cortisol levels up, and that wrecks your sleep. 2 weeks sugar-free, and many people report falling asleep faster, sleeping deeper, and waking up more rested. Speaking of feeling rested, now's the perfect time to lightly rest your finger on that like and subscribe button. Number 5, your mood stabilizes. Say goodbye to the sugar roller coaster. No more 3 p.m. crashes, no more irritability, no more brain fog. Your blood sugar levels out, and so does your mood. Number 6, your skin glows. One of the first compliments people get after quitting sugar, your skin looks amazing. Why? Less inflammation, collagen improves, more hydration, fewer breakouts. So there you have it, 6 powerful ways your body begins to transform in just 2 weeks without sugar. Want to go deeper? Make sure you've watched the 4 videos I mentioned earlier. I walk you through exactly how to quit sugar step by step. So there you have it. 6 powerful ways your body begins to transform in just 2 weeks without sugar. Cutting out junk food doesn't only help with weight loss. It also affects what's happening inside your arteries. And in this video, I'm going to show you how. I'm Zoe Reed, and this is medicine made simple. Number 1, lowers triglycerides. Think of your arteries as a back road highway with different vehicles peacefully driving by. In a healthy heart, 3 types of cholesterols operate in a very specific way. First, LDL. These are the limousines delivering essential cholesterol throughout your body. LDL helps make hormones like estrogen and testosterone. It also plays a role in producing vitamin D. Second, HDL. These are the highway patrol. They collect excess LDL from the arteries and keep traffic flowing. Third, triglycerides. These are the oversized trucks. When too many show up, they wreak havoc on your heart. Processed junk foods like chips, candy, and packaged meals send a flood of these oversized trucks onto the road. That traffic isn't just cholesterol, it's inflammation. And the more inflammation you create, the more these trucks break down the highway itself. Simply cutting back on processed foods reduces these triglyceride trucks, lowers inflammation, and lets your arteries repair. Number 2, lowers inflammation. Remember we said LDL is important? It helps make hormones like estrogen and testosterone, and even plays a role in producing vitamin D. But when you eat too much processed food, that LDL goes AWOL. Instead of being helpful, it can turn destructive. It's no longer the elegant, law-abiding vehicle it once was. Now, it becomes oxidized, tangled up with calcium and biofilm, and begins to build up. These reckless limousines whip through your arteries, crashing into each other, damaging the walls of your blood vessels. Meanwhile, processed foods drastically reduces the number of HDL cleanup crews. Fewer patrol cars means less LDL is cleared from the highway, and over time, that's a recipe for disaster. And if that weren't enough, eating processed foods also leads to an overproduction of triglycerides. Now imagine cargo trucks barreling through an already congested highway, a highway that's already full of accidents. That's the aftermath of oxidized LDL. With few cleanup crew left, these trucks just add to the chaos, creating the perfect storm for a heart attack. Cutting out junk food can drastically reduce this inflammation. Less junk food means less oxidized LDL, less triglycerides, and calms this over-congested highway. Speaking of a perfect storm, now would be the perfect time to blow through that like and subscribe button. Number 3, lowers insulin resistance. Processed food doesn't just affect your cholesterol, it can cause insulin resistance. The more junk food you eat, the higher your chance of developing type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is a major cause of oxidized LDL, and over time, that raises your risk of a heart attack. Not everyone needs cholesterol medication. Many people can reverse insulin resistance through lifestyle and a change of diet. But if you can't, take a breath. You are not a failure. You may just need more time, and that's okay. In the meantime, talk to your doctor about cholesterol medication. All of this ties back to the 4 core principles we've already covered in previous videos. Number 1, no sugar in your tea or coffee. Number 2, nothing to eat past 7 p.m. Number 3, 3 meals a day, no snacks in between. And number 4, no carbs after 2 p.m. That means no bread, rice, pasta, or potatoes after 2 p.m. If you want more food strategies, make sure you're subscribed. I've got entire series coming up on meals, morning routines, and the foods that heal from the inside out. It's only a matter of time. Like and subscribe if you like this video, and leave a comment below. Until next time, everyone.
A user asks, does this include raw honey?
I actually get asked this in clinic all the time. Absolutely. I mean, honey just looks like a liquid to me. I just look at it. I don't know. It is absolutely a liquid, but it mostly because we're not actually just eating honey as a spoon. But even if you are, it is a liquid objectively. I think it would be considered a liquid objectively. But also because you're putting it in liquid. And so, if you're taking your tea and putting honey in it, you're now making that tea a sugared tea. If you're taking, I don't know, what are the other things people put honey in? Water? I'm not exactly sure. But the answer is absolutely yes. Honey is actually a liquid sugar. And I know there's a lot of talk about it being raw and this and that, but like sugar is sugar is sugar. Like if you're going to want to have, like, this is where I say it's like, instead of having the honey, just, eat an apple, have some berries, and even the same thing with the difference between having orange juice versus eating the actual orange. I mean, there's so many other benefits to the orange in and of itself. Some of that being that, there's actual fiber in the orange, so it actually does assist with digestion. But the summary of this is that, yes, honey is a liquid sugar, and absolutely my suggestion is to include that and cut that out.
So can someone post a list of no sugar foods, please?
Yes, I actually did that in the handout that I hope everyone has already downloaded. So you can find a more extensive list on that.
I went 16 days with overnight intermittent fasting with 12 to 17 hours of just water or coffee without sugar. I started laughing at my mind's sugar acquisition missions.
So this is a great comment, just sort of addressing how addictive sugar can be. And it also sort of addresses, the reasons why I really emphasize that people do go slowly off of sugar. I really try to stress that, you don't wake up tomorrow morning and decide I'm never going to have sugar again. You actually want to give yourself a lot of time to cut it down slowly. So in the earlier chapter 1, we went over kind of the slow wean protocol that you can also find in the handout. And the reason for that is because you don't want to actually sort of signal to your body that you are bringing it off of sugar, because the moment that you do, it's actually going to start to work against you. So you want to work with your body, not against it. And giving yourself time to slowly wean off of it is actually, a good comparison is similar to that of grief, right? You're not going to just, it's not going to sort of settle itself right away. You are just going to kind of want to slowly say goodbye to it. And just by giving yourself a couple of weeks, maybe even takes up to a month, you will be able to more successfully not hold out, but just sort of prevent yourself from still wanting it 8 months later, because that can actually happen. If you just suddenly stop the sugar right now, you're kind of always just thinking about it in the back of your mind, because you sort of went too quickly off of it, and then your brain kind of keeps that now as a core memory of that past life that you once had with sugar. So you just don't want to do that. You really just want to kind of give yourself time where you're just kind of, get to a point where you're like, I don't really think I need this anymore. I don't really think I like this. I don't really think it's bringing me benefits. And that's really the key to behavioral change, right? You want to be able to not so much demonize the sugar, but just actually objectively see it as, I don't really think this is bringing me that many benefits. I feel so much better when I'm, eating fruits, for instance, or just sort of an overall well-balanced diet, which is also why when we're weaning off sugar, we're also kind of introducing healthier foods, which I also do lay out not just in the videos, but actually in the handout as well, sort of how we can sort of swap with alternatives like that. So it's a great question. It's a great comment because I think it just sort of really summarizes very well how much a part of our lives and our brains that sugar has become in North America, and the reasons why we want to really just sort of slowly break up with it. So before we jump into looking at how much nutrients you can get from each food, I think it's important that we talk about how your body absorbs nutrients from whole foods versus how it's going to absorb it from a supplement. So let's pretend that this is an apple. In order for my body to actually digest this apple and get all the nutrients that it needs from it, it has to go through several phases of digestion in order to do that. The first being chewing, and then following that, going into the small intestine. So most of the absorption from this apple is going to actually happen in the small intestine. But the gist of it is this. When I'm eating something like this apple, digestion happens very slowly. And that's really important because it gives my body time to extract all the nutrients that it needs from this apple, and allows it to sort of go at a steady pace. Fiber as well on the outside of the apple plays an important role in helping keep that steady pace. And when you have something that's being absorbed slowly, not only do you get better absorption, you actually tend to stay fuller longer that way. Okay, so apple, great thing. Now let's pretend that this is a supplement. 1-to-1, the supplement is going to be is not going to absorb the same way that the apple does. Because it's coming in as a single compound, the sort of phases of digestion, first and foremost, most of us are not chewing supplements because, well, it just doesn't taste very good. But even afterwards, as it goes down to the small intestine, it doesn't need to be broken down the same way that the apple would need to because it's mixed with, different types of nutrients. The overall gist of it is that when you're comparing these two things, eating the apple is always going to be the best way to get the nutrients. 1, because you get better bioavailability. Number 2, you have a slower phase of digestion, which helps just bring out more of the nutrients. And number 3, it keeps you fuller longer. It's not to say that the supplement is bad for everybody. Like I said, there are going to be people who do require a supplement. Somebody, for instance, that has inflammatory bowel disease may not have the good gut biome that you need to actually be able to absorb these nutrients. So in those instances, supplements may be needed. But for the most part, we are going to try to aim to get our nutrients from our apple and from all the other foods that we're going to be discussing in this upcoming part. This is what a full day of nutrient-packed meals looks like. No supplements, no snacking, no gimmicks. Most supplements, they're made in the same manufacturing plants as prescription medication, often by the same companies. Don't let the natural label fool you. If you want natural, start with food. I'm Zoe Reed, and this is medicine made simple. Let's start with iron. It carries oxygen in your blood, keeps your energy up, and when you're low, you feel it. We're talking bone deep exhaustion.
Yes, I'd like to bring something to the court's attention.
Ever felt like that? Drop a comment and tell me, have iron supplements ever made a difference for you? The daily need for women is about 18 milligrams. You can get that easily by combining a few foods. 4 ounces of chicken liver gives you a whopping 9.2 milligrams of iron. 1 cup of cooked spinach adds 6.4 milligrams of iron. And 1/4 a cup of pumpkin seeds gives you another 2.5 milligrams. That's 18.1 milligrams, a full day's worth. Done. Yes. Now, here's the caveat. If you're a vegetarian or you have heavy menstrual cycles, iron deficiency is very common. Your body absorbs it best from food, but if you're losing a lot of blood each month, no amount of spinach or pumpkin seeds is going to make up for that. So in those cases, you will likely need a supplement. Get your levels tested. But if your iron is in range, real food can absolutely keep it there. Next up is magnesium, the calm down mineral. It regulates nerves, sleep, and blood sugar. You need 320 milligrams a day. Here's how fast you can get there. 1 ounce of pumpkin seed gives you 168 milligrams of magnesium. Half a cup of cooked spinach adds 78 milligrams of magnesium. And 1 cup of black beans brings in another 120 milligrams. That adds up to 430 milligrams, more than enough, all from whole food. Now let's talk about potassium, the nutrient nobody talks about, but a lot of people are missing. You need 2,600 milligrams of potassium a day, and here's how easy it is to hit that with real food. 1 medium baked potato with skin has 926 milligrams. 1 cup of cooked spinach gives you 839 milligrams. 1 cup of black beans adds 611 milligrams. 1 small banana gives you another 422 milligrams. Total, 2,798 milligrams. Boom. You're covered. Now, please take note that if you have kidney disease or another condition that causes you to have high potassium, you should not be ingesting more potassium, and likely your doctor has told you that. But use this as a helpful guide. Next up, vitamin C. You need it for your immune system, for collagen, and to help absorb iron from food. The recommended daily amount is 75 to 90 milligrams. Now, get this. 1 red bell pepper is 152 milligrams. 1 orange, 90 milligrams. 1 cup of broccoli, 91 milligrams. You don't need gummies. Just eat 1 pepper and a piece of broccoli. You're well over your daily needs. Vitamin A helps keep your vision sharp, supports your immune system, and helps your body grow and repair tissues. You need 700 to 900 micrograms per day, depending on your age and gender. Watch how fast this adds up. 3.5 ounces of beef liver, 7,740 micrograms. 1 hard-boiled egg, 75 micrograms. 1 ounce of cheddar cheese, 74 micrograms. 3.5 ounces of cooked salmon, 69 micrograms. Even just a small amount of liver once or twice a week can blow past your needs, and the rest can be made up with some eggs, fish, and cheese if you prefer. Zinc is a big deal. Your immune system, wound healing, skin health, and even your hormones rely on it. Women need about 8 milligrams per day, and men need about 11 milligrams per day. Here's how to get there. 3 ounces of steak, 3.8 milligrams. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds, 2.2 milligrams. Half a cup of cooked oats, 1.2 milligrams. 1 ounce of cheddar cheese, 1.5 milligrams. 1 egg, 0.6 milligrams. And a serving of sardines, 1.1 milligrams. That's nearly 10.4 milligrams just from food. Now for the omega-3s. They fight inflammation, support your brain, and protect your heart. You need around 500 milligrams per day, and real food can get you there quite easily. Plant foods like flax, chia, and walnuts are high in ALA, a plant version of omega-3. Your body can turn some of it into the active form, but fish gives you the real deal directly. Here's what that looks like. 6 ounces of salmon is around 2,000 milligrams of omega-3. 1 small can of sardines gives you another 1,200 milligrams of omega-3, more than twice the daily amount. 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed gives 2,350 milligrams of ALA omega-3. The chart I've included below outlines flaxseed, chia seeds, and walnuts. They're high in omega-3, but like I said, it's ALA omega-3, which is a plant version that your body still needs to convert. The real deal with all the omega-3 in the highest amount you're going to find in salmon and sardines. Let's talk about vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects your cells, supports your immune system, and even helps balance hormones. You need about 15 milligrams per day. Here's how to get that without touching those fortified oils. Half an avocado, 2.1 milligrams. 1 fillet of salmon, 2 milligrams. 1 red bell pepper, 1.9 milligrams. half a cup of cooked beet greens, 1.3 milligrams, 1 cup of broccoli, 1.1 milligrams, a handful of sunflower seeds, 7.4 milligrams. That's over 15 milligrams total. Easy to hit just by adding color and variety to your meals.
Delicious.
Iodine is essential for thyroid function, and without it, energy, metabolism, and hormone balance all take a hit. You only need about 140 micrograms a day, and here's how to get that covered. 1 sheet of seaweed is up to 232 micrograms of iodine. 3 ounces of baked cod, 158 micrograms. 8 ounces of Greek yogurt, 116 micrograms. And 1 egg is 26 micrograms. One of those items a day is enough to support your thyroid. No kelp pills required.
They taste like burning.
And just like that, no pills, no powders. You've hit your nutrient targets through real food. The only supplement most people truly need? Vitamin D. And that's just because we're barely in the sun anymore. Maybe some iron too if you have heavy periods or you're losing blood. And of course, if you have Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, celiac disease, or another condition that affects absorption, then yes, supplements may be necessary. But for a lot of people, I encourage you to switch over to food as your supplement. That includes people with irritable bowel, where supplements just wreak havoc on your system. And now for the question of the day. What's one nutrient-rich food you eat regularly, or want to start eating more of? Comment below. I'd love to know what's on your plate. Like and subscribe if you like this video, and leave a comment below. Until next time, everyone. The B vitamins are like your body's pit crew. They keep your metabolism running, your brain firing, and your energy steady. They're water soluble, which means your body doesn't store them. You need to get them daily. Let's break down how to do that with food. I'm Zoe Reed, and this is Medicine Made Simple. B1, or thiamine, is essential for nerve function and turning carbs into energy. You need about 1.1 milligrams a day if you're a woman, or 1.2 milligrams if you're a man. Here's how to get that. 1 lean pork chop, which is about 3 ounces, gives you 1.1 milligrams. Seaweed, 1 cup, 2.66 milligrams of thiamine. Sunflower seeds, 1 cup, 2 milligrams of thiamine. And macadamia nuts, 1 cup, is 1.6 milligrams of thiamine. Having one of these a day is enough. No supplements needed. B2 helps with energy production, skin, and eye health. You need about 1.1 to 1.3 milligrams a day, more if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. Here's what that looks like on your plate. 6 ounces of steak gives you 1.3 milligrams. 1 egg adds 0.3 milligrams. 1 cup of mushrooms gives you another 0.5 milligrams. That's over 2 milligrams of B2 right there. Check. B3 supports circulation, lowers inflammation, and helps your body make stress and sex hormones. You need 14 to 16 milligrams per day. Here's one easy way to hit it. 6 ounces of chicken breast, a solid 22 milligrams. 1 avocado adds 3.5 milligrams. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter gives you another 4.3 milligrams. That's almost 30 milligrams of B3, double of what you need. B5 helps your body make energy and hormones, and honestly, it's hard to be deficient if you're eating real food. You need around 5 milligrams a day. Try this combo. 1 cup of shiitake mushrooms, 5.2 milligrams. Half an avocado, 1.4 milligrams. That's 6.6 milligrams. Done. B6 supports brain health, mood, and immunity. Women need around 1.3 to 1.5 milligrams per day, and men need about 1.3 to 1.7 milligrams. Here's an easy B6 win. 6 ounces of chicken, 1.6 milligrams. 6 ounces of salmon, another 1.6 milligrams. 1 avocado, 0.5 milligrams. Total, 3.7 milligrams, more than double of what you need. B7, also known as biotin, is the one people buy for hair, skin, and nails. But you can absolutely eat your way to healthy levels. You need about 30 micrograms per day. This combo will get you to it. 1 cooked egg, 10 micrograms. 3 ounces of beef liver, 31 micrograms. 1/4 a cup of sunflower seeds, 2.6 micrograms. That's 43.6 micrograms covered. B9, also known as folate, is especially important for anyone pregnant or trying to conceive, but it's also essential for cell growth and making real blood cells. You need 400 micrograms per day, 600 micrograms if you're pregnant. Here's 1 day's worth. 1 cup of cooked lentils, 358 micrograms. Half a cup of asparagus, 134 micrograms. 1 avocado, 82 micrograms. That's 574 micrograms, more than enough for most people. I should stop here to say that if you are pregnant, you should be taking folate supplements because it's really important for your baby's health. B12 helps your brain and nervous system stay sharp and keeps red blood cells healthy. You need 2.4 micrograms per day, and animal foods are where it's at. Here's 1 day's worth. 3 ounces of beef liver, 70 micrograms. 2 eggs with yolk, 1.2 micrograms. 1 can of sardines, 7.6 micrograms. You only need 2.4 micrograms of B12, and you're getting over 75 micrograms from real food. And now for the question of the day. Be honest. Were you getting enough B vitamins before watching this? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what's on your plate. Like and subscribe if you like this video, and leave a comment below. Until next time, everyone. Okay, this next section, chapter 4, is all about foods for weight loss. So really what this is going to be talking about is foods that are going to lower high insulin states. Everything that we outlined in chapter 1 that talked about high insulin states and the things that cause type 2 diabetes, belly fat, things like that. These are the foods that you can use in order to help reverse that. Once that's done, I really encourage you to go through the exercises to help, once again, consolidate all of the information. And then after that video, there is a discussion about cholesterol, which I have added on. I think it's really important to discuss because there's a lot of information online about cholesterol, and this kind of gives you an overall summary of that. These are the top foods to detox your liver. Backed by science. I'm Zoe Reed, and this is Medicine Made Simple. Number 1, avocados. Avocados are rich in glutathione, a powerful antioxidant that supports liver detoxification. They also possess anti-inflammatory properties. Here are some ways to include avocados in your meals. 1, eggs in avocado. Pairing eggs with avocado provides a nutrient-dense, low-carb meal. 2, avocado toast. For those incorporating carbs in the morning, a strategy we discussed in our video on insulin resistance reversal, whole grain toast topped with avocado is a great option. Number 2, extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is one of the healthiest fats you can eat. It's anti-inflammatory, heart healthy, and yes, totally safe to cook with. There's a common myth that heating olive oil makes it toxic. That's simply not true. Have you heard that myth? That cooking with olive oil makes it toxic? I'd love to know. Did you believe it? Or were you already team olive oil? Use it for cooking and in salad dressing, such as mixing it with apple cider vinegar for a liver-friendly dressing. Number 3, cruciferous vegetables. Vegetables like kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, radishes, and arugula are rich in sulforaphane, a compound with potent anti-inflammatory and liver-supportive properties. Including these in your lunch and dinner can aid in liver detoxification and improve insulin sensitivity. Don't worry about writing this all down. I've summarized everything in the free handout below. Check it out. Number 4, beets. Beets are not just a colorful addition to your plate. They're packed with health benefits. Studies suggest that compounds in beets can help lower blood pressure, improve blood sugar levels, and manage cholesterol. While more research is needed to fully understand all their effects, adding beets to your diet is a simple and affordable way to support your overall health. Toss some beets into your salad for a natural liver-loving boost. And while you're at it, why not boost the like and subscribe buttons too? Your liver will thank you. Okay, maybe not, but I will. Due to their higher carbohydrate content, try to consume beets during your lunchtime meal. Aim to have no carbs past 2 p.m., a principle we discussed in our video on carbohydrate timing. Number 5, garlic. Garlic contains vitamin B1, thiamine, and has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. It's been shown to reduce liver enzymes and protect liver cells. Use garlic to flavor your evening no-carb meals to enhance both taste and health benefits. Number 6, mushrooms. Certain mushrooms are rich in glutathione, an antioxidant that supports liver health and protects liver cells. A 2019 article in Food Science and Human Wellness found that dietary mushrooms plays a vital role in protecting from immunodeficiency, cancer, inflammation, and metabolic syndromes. Now, there are many different kinds of mushrooms, and if you're interested, I'll link the article down below because it lists all these different kinds and their specific health benefits. The point is that adding any of these to your evening meals, such as sautéing them in olive oil, can be a delicious and beneficial addition. Number 7, cinnamon, my personal favorite. Cinnamon is recognized for its anti-inflammatory properties and potential benefits in liver regeneration. However, it's crucial to consume it in moderation. Ideally, no more than 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder daily. This caution is due to the presence of coumarin in certain types of cinnamon, such as cassia, which can be harmful to the liver in large quantities. The advantage of cinnamon is that even small amounts can impart significant flavor and health benefits. Adding a light sprinkle to your dishes or incorporating a dash into your morning coffee can provide these benefits without the risk of overconsumption. This brings us to the additional liver-friendly beverage, black coffee. Research indicates that regular consumption of black coffee may have protective effects against various liver diseases, such as liver malignancies, chronic liver disease due to alcohol, viral hepatitis, and fatty liver disease. For optimal benefits, it's important to consume this as black coffee. While a small splash of cream and a sprinkle of cinnamon are acceptable, it's best to avoid adding sugar, honey, or maple syrup. Excessive sugar intake can negate the positive effects of coffee on liver health. We talked about this before in our first video, and for a more detailed guidance on preparing a liver-friendly cup of coffee, refer to that video, How to Make a Killer Cup of Coffee to Beat Diabetes. I'll link it below. By incorporating these 7 superfoods into your daily meals, you can support liver health and work towards reducing inflammation. And now for the question of the day. What's one food you thought helped your liver, but now you're not so sure? Comment below. I want to hear all about it. Like and subscribe if you like this video and leave a comment below. Until next time, everyone. This meal could be a game changer for your arteries, and I'm excited for you to try it. I'm Zoe Reed, and this is Medicine Made Simple. Before we dive into the plate, a heart-healthy meal needs 3 crucial ingredients. Let's chat about those first. Number 1, vitamin C. The first heart-smart nutrient is vitamin C. It may slow down plaque buildup in your arteries and helps repair tissues. You'll find it in citrus fruits, strawberries, bell peppers, and broccoli. The recommended daily amount is 75 to 90 milligrams, and you can get it easily from 1 cup of chopped red bell pepper, 190 milligrams, 1 medium orange, 70 milligrams of vitamin C, 1 cup of broccoli, a whopping 81 milligrams of vitamin C. Just 1 or 2 of these, you're covered for the day. Next up for your heart smart nutrients is vitamin E. Vitamin E protects your cells and may help prevent LDL cholesterol from oxidizing, which is what kicks off artery damage. You'll find it in nuts, seeds, and leafy greens. You need about 15 milligrams a day. Half an avocado, that's 2 milligrams. 1 ounce of sunflower seeds, 7 milligrams. 1 cup of chopped red bell pepper, 2.4 milligrams. That's more than enough with a single meal. Number 3, omega-3s. These essential fats reduce inflammation and help lower triglycerides, a major risk factor for heart disease. You need about 250 to 500 milligrams per day. Here's how to get that, and then some. 6 ounces of salmon gives you 4,000 milligrams. 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed, 1,600 milligrams. 1 ounce of chia seeds, 5,000 milligrams. 1 ounce of walnuts, 2,500 milligrams. Whether you eat fish or not, there's a way to hit your omega-3 goals. With all that in mind, what does a heart-smart meal look like? Try this. Main course, grilled salmon, 6 ounces, cooked in olive oil and garlic. Sides, steamed broccoli and sauteed beet greens with garlic and olive oil. Salad, Spinach with avocado and red bell pepper, dressed with apple cider vinegar and olive oil. This one meal gives you a full day's worth of vitamin C, vitamin E, and omega-3s, all in one sitting. Here's the key takeaway. A Heart Smart plate has 3 core principles. Number 1, it's lower in carbs. Number 2, low in sugar. Number 3, it incorporates a full daily dose of vitamin C, omega-3, and vitamin E. When thinking about a heart-healthy meal, it's really important to stick to these 3 principles. Speaking of really important, like and subscribe if you find this video helpful. Maintaining a heart-healthy diet is a marathon, not a sprint. With so much conflicting information online, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Remember, there's no universal solution. What matters are the core principles we embrace. I'm not here to promote quick fixes or expensive supplements. Instead, I advocate for simple, sustainable habits. Choose nutrient-dense foods, incorporate a variety of vegetables, lean protein, and healthy fats in your meals. These straightforward strategies have positively impacted many of my patients, and I believe they can do the same for you. And now for the question of the day. Would you try this Heart Smart meal? What would you tweak or add? Comment below. I'd love to hear your take. Like and subscribe if you like this video, and leave a comment below. Until next time, everyone. Intermittent fasting works, but only if you do it right. This 5-part video walks you through exactly how. I'm Zoe Reed, and this is Medicine Made Simple. Part 1. Intermittent fasting works. Intermittent fasting lowers insulin, the hormone responsible for belly fat, diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. You've probably heard insulin makes you fat, and that's mostly true. We need some insulin to move sugar into our cells, but too much insulin? That tells your body to store fat and blocks growth hormone, your most powerful fat-burning, muscle-protecting hormone.
I'm Hans. And I'm Franz. And we want to pump you up.
The first 4 videos in this series explain the basics of intermittent fasting. If you've watched those, you should already be cutting all sugar from drinks. Yes, even in your coffee and tea. Eating nothing after 7 p.m., eating 3 meals a day, avoiding snacks, having a no-carb dinner. If you haven't watched those yet, make sure to check them out. They're essential to understanding meal timing, which is the core of intermittent fasting. Important medical note. If you're on insulin or other medications that affect your blood sugar, do not try intermittent fasting without medical guidance. Always talk to your doctor or registered nutritionist before making major dietary changes when on these medications. And if you are one of my patients, please talk to me first. Part 2. It's not a calorie restriction. Intermittent fasting isn't about cutting calories. It's about changing when you eat, so your insulin has time to drop. If you've made it to 3 meals a day with no snacking, you've already done the hardest part. Because every time you eat, even a healthy snack, insulin rises. Do that 5 to 7 times a day, and your body starts resisting insulin. That leads to fat gain, fatigue, and long-term health issues. That's why we say even healthy snacking makes you fat. It keeps insulin high all day long. Now that you've trained your body to go from one meal to the next without grazing, you're ready for the next level. Still getting hungry between meals? That usually means you're not eating enough during meals. The number one mistake I see people make is that they're still calorie restricting. This video isn't about what to eat. That's a separate topic. Today, it's all about structure. It's all about your eating window. Part 3, set it up, 2 meals a day. Once you're steady with 3 meals, try stepping it up. 2 meals a day, no snacks in between. Forget the confusing labels like 18-6 or 24. Just eat twice. That's it. Most people do best with lunch and dinner, and here's a sample of what that would look like. Breakfast, skip it. Have coffee with milk or cream, no sugar, and maybe some cinnamon. Mid-morning, have some herbal or green tea. Keep the sugar out of it. Lunch, whole wheat pasta, roasted veggies, big salad with apple cider vinegar, and an orange for dessert. Dinner, steak and salad, no carbs. Here are the key principles. 2 meals a day, no snacks in between,
Keep dinner no carb. Meet all your nutrient needs in those 2 meals. Watch my video entitled Warning Signs Your Body is Screaming for Nutrients. And another tip, why is lunch vegetarian in this sample meal? Well, it's not mandatory, but if you're going to eat carbs like pasta, it's easier on your body if you skip the meat. Here's why. Your body digests carbs better when it's not also dealing with heavy fats and proteins. Carbs plus fats is the real issue, not carbs alone. Think bread and butter, pancakes and syrup, pasta and meat sauce. By keeping lunch vegetarian and carb-based, you, 1, ease digestion, 2, give your insulin a break, and 3, make room for vegetables, which most of us are undereating anyway. Part 4, grazing versus structure. Here's what I see in clinic a lot. People who are used to grazing all day tend to struggle more with fasting. Those who already eat full structured meals, they adapt pretty easily. This is a habit, not a personality flaw, and like any habit, it can be unlearned. If 2 meals a day feels too hard right now, start slow. Try a light breakfast, something like fruit, then gradually work your way down. Part 5, try it for 3 to 4 weeks. This isn't a forever thing. Eventually, your body is gonna plateau. That's normal. But give this 2-meal pattern 3 to 4 weeks. Watch how your energy, appetite, and digestion begin to improve. And if lunch doesn't work for your schedule, then do breakfast and dinner instead. Just leave a long fasting window in between. During your fast, herbal tea and green tea are great. They keep cortisol low and support the process. And now for the question of the day. What's the hardest part for you? Skipping breakfast, late night cravings, or knowing what to eat and when? Comment below. I want to hear about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with someone who needs a simple, smart plan. I'm Zoe Reed, and this is Medicine Made Simple.
All right, everyone, you've now completed your full introductory weight loss course. This framework is not temporary. It's a foundation for life. The most important thing to know is take it one day at a time. It's a lot of information. I encourage you to go back over everything, go through every chapter, go through all the exercises, and slowly, one day at a time, you'll start to see little changes being made. I've also provided a lot of handouts throughout in the course book, reflections, questions, journaling. I really encourage you to go through that because journaling and actually documenting is one of the best ways to create behavioral changes. Much of this really is about behavioral change. We all know the information. We've heard it 100 times, and this is just going to kind of give you a framework to help you make those changes happen. These are the top 7 foods to eat on a no-sugar diet. Watch closely because many of my patients have reversed their insulin resistance with these no-sugar swaps on their plate. And while you may already know the dangers of sugar, all that knowledge could be wasted by the hidden sugars you still eat. But what is a truly no-sugar healthy food? What do successful dieters know that you don't? To find out, I spent the last 10 years poring over charts, listening to patients, and analyzing the most successful stories of people who succeeded on a no-sugar diet. 50,000 conversations later, I discovered that the healthiest no-sugar meals share the same 7 ingredients. In this video, we'll walk you through them all.
I'm Zoe Reed, and this is Medicine Made Simple.
The first ingredient is by far the most important, and yet the most overlooked. Most of us agonize over sugar articles, ditch bread, and read labels to perfection. Then we throw some honey in our coffee and head off to work. This is a lopsided way to think about sugar. You're thinking natural sugar is different. Your liver, it can't tell the difference. A lot of people say honey's fine because it's natural, but your liver doesn't see honey that way. What it sees is pure sugar, stripped of the fiber and nutrients that slow absorption in fruit. And when you pour it into your coffee every morning, even just a teaspoon, it sends your liver into overdrive. Over a year, a single daily teaspoon of honey adds up to more than 1 kilo of sugar, all from your coffee alone. This isn't woo-woo celebrity nonsense. Halle Berry reversed her type 2 diabetes by cutting sugar out of her coffee. And recently, experts confirmed the benefits of sugar-free coffee on Good Morning America.
This could be great news for coffee lovers. This book saying that doing this, just drinking a cup of coffee, could be the best thing you do all day. Adding it won't just make you more alert, it could also wake up your diet too, burning fat, helping you stay satisfied, even boosting workouts. But is this the right diet for everyone?
But here's the catch. You can't boost metabolism or burn fat if you're putting sugar in your cup in the first place. That's why the first ingredient on a no-sugar diet is simple. Drink your liquids sugar-free. Start with black coffee, unsweetened tea, or plain water, and you've begun your reset. Once you've dropped all the liquid sugars from your diet, you're ready for the most crucial ingredient in your breakfast, fava beans. This is where most people quit. But if you can improve your blood sugar levels first thing in the morning, you'll automatically improve your body's response to insulin. The most successful no-sugar eaters I know start their day with fava beans. Just 30 to 40 seconds warmed on the stove or in the microwave. Half a cup is packed with protein and fiber, plus potassium, magnesium, thiamine, and zinc, all with zero sugar added. Skip the canned, pre-cooked versions. They sneak in 3 to 4 teaspoons of sugar per cup. Instead, add fresh tomatoes, onions, a drizzle of olive oil, and a spoon of tahini. You've got the perfect breakfast to keep you full until lunch. If you used to reach for cereal or granola bars, this is your new fix. Once you've done that, you're ready for the next phase. And this is where it gets interesting. At this point, you've stopped flooding your liver with liquid sugars, you've turned your metabolism on with coffee, and lowered insulin with fava beans. But the healthiest no-sugar diets don't just meet their metabolism's expectations, they exceed them. And they do it through something called the antioxidant effect. The antioxidant effect recognizes that berries, like blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, are all natural antioxidants. They're enough to calm cravings, but low enough in sugar to keep insulin flat. Think of berries as nature's candy that actually helps you heal. Research shows that eating half a cup of blueberries a day improves liver health, reducing fat storage, oxidative stress, and inflammation. In fact, people with the highest anthocyanin intake, which is the water-soluble pigments found in plants that give them their red, purple, and blue colors, had 53% lower odds of fatty liver disease. Keep your morning coffee black, your fava beans warm, and finish with a handful of berries. Now, if that sounds too light for breakfast, welcome to ingredient number 4, eggs. Eggs are the ultimate sugar-free comfort food. Protein, healthy fats, and choline. Your brain and metabolism love it. Start your day with eggs and you'll stop craving muffins by 10 a.m. When you eat protein first thing in the morning, it raises dopamine and stabilizes blood sugar for the rest of the day. You avoid the glucose roller coaster that happens with cereal or toast. Your first meal sets the tone for every meal that follows. Don't overthink it. Boiled or cooked in a small amount of olive oil is the way to go. Add avocado or greens, and you're combining protein, fat, and fiber, the holy trinity of stable insulin.
Amen.
Eggs keep you full until lunch, so you can go longer between meals without snacking. They're also one of the most misunderstood foods. Now, to the nitty-gritty. Everyone always asks, what about cholesterol? Yes, the yolk does contain cholesterol. If you have insulin resistance or metabolic syndrome and high cholesterol, that matters. But the yolk also contains nutrients your body needs to regulate cholesterol. Vitamins A, D, E, K, choline, and lecithin, which are a group of fats that help the liver package and remove cholesterol properly. So the same food that contains cholesterol also teaches your body what to do with it. Don't throw the yolk away. Just balance it. 1 whole egg plus a few whites gives you nutrients and volume without overloading the cholesterol. Cook them in olive oil, add greens or avocados. A complete meal for stable blood sugar. If eggs rebuild your metabolism, the next step is minerals to keep cravings gone. This brings us to the 5th important no-sugar ingredient, leafy greens. How do you know if your leafy greens are truly no sugar or secretly an Oreo in disguise? Look at your leafy greens. Look at them again and again. Look at them in your kitchen. Look at them at work. Have your friend try some. If they taste too creamy or too sweet, your liver probably thinks so too. Go back and cut out hidden sugar sources. Sauces, maple drizzles, cheese whiz, or ketchup on your celery. All of it has got to go. Spinach, kale, arugula. These are the holy grail of fiber and magnesium. Magnesium calms sugar cravings and keeps energy steady. Toss them into your omelet or make a simple salad. Your blood sugar will thank you. Which brings us to number 6, nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds aren't snacks. They're ingredients for flavor and nutrients. Let's pause here for a moment and talk about a few things. First, let's be honest. Big food wants you to eat more. Why? Because they don't make money if you eat less. Sadly, many of the so-called health companies pushing grazing and snacking are owned by the same giants selling junk food. Weight Watchers, owned by the same investors who built a sugar empire in Europe. SlimFast, bought by Unilever, the same company that owns Ben & Jerry's. Jenny Craig, bought by Nestle. Yes, the people selling chocolate and ice cream. Big food markets snacks as tools to help you lose weight, all under that magic phrase, as part of a whole balanced diet. But we already know diet ads aren't just misleading, they're wrong. That's why it's crucial to stop falling for diet companies repackaging the same bad advice, and to stop wasting money on low-sugar snacks designed to keep you hooked on snacking because they're stuffed with hidden sugars. Almonds, walnuts, chia, flax, these are the staples during your meals. They're crunchy, fatty, full of fiber. They also slow digestion and keep insulin steady so you don't crash after meals. Just a small handful is enough. Sprinkle them on a salad or mix them into a meal. The goal isn't to snack all day, it's to build meals that satisfy you so that you won't want to binge on granola bars by 3 p.m. Spoken from personal experience. Number 7. Now we're getting to the meat, but not the potatoes. Chicken, beef, salmon, sardines, this is where the metabolic repair happens. Protein keeps you steady, satisfied, and reverses years of sugar burning. Build every meal around protein and watch your cravings disappear. For the best results, stop eating carbs after 2 p.m. No bread, no rice, no pasta, no potatoes. Switch to a higher protein, no carb dinner. It gives your body time to process food and rebuild insulin sensitivity. To understand why, let's talk about Buster. He reversed his type 2 diabetes. He's off his meds. His blood sugars are completely normal. But just a year ago, that wasn't the case. Buster was putting in the work, eating healthy, and working out 3 to 5 times a week. Yet his A1C stayed high. When we zoomed out and looked at how often he was eating, it all made sense. You see, every time you eat, insulin is released to bring blood sugar down. Eating 6 times a day, even with healthy snacks like almonds and kale, means insulin is constantly floating around in your bloodstream. So Buster made one simple change. Instead of grazing on 6 small meals, he switched to 3 solid meals a day, and what my patients love to call 3MAD. His blood sugars dropped, his insulin levels stabilized, and his body finally had time to become insulin sensitive again. Bonus: avocados. Creamy, satisfying, full of good fats. They stabilize blood sugar and keep you full for hours. Add half to your dinner or mash it with lime for a simple guac. No chips required. Take your time to get these 7 ingredients right and you will see results. Going no sugar is hard. There will be days when you give it everything you've got and nothing seems to change. And then there's those days that you binge watch Netflix and somehow drop 5 pounds. It's enough to drive you mad. But if you're willing to stick with it, you'll win in the end. Real food, proper timing, carbs early, protein midday, healthy fats at night, and stop eating by 7 p.m. That's how you turn a diet into a rhythm your body can trust.
This is the rhythm of the night. The night. Oh yeah.
That's your 7 food starter kit for a no sugar diet. Don't just remove sugar, replace it with real food. Like and subscribe if you like this video and leave a comment below. Until next time, everyone.